So hello everyone, we have Pooja and Pooja is working as Central Excise Inspector. So hi Pooja.
Hi, Abhishek.
So Pooja will tell something about her profile and about preparation strategy and mock strategy. So let's start Pooja. So Pooja, so tell me about your profile. Uh, what are the pros and cons of your current profile?
Okay, so basically, excise is divided into zones. Okay,
Hmm.
beneath you've got commissionerates and other
Hmm.
formations. Under the
Hmm.
commissioner, you get divisions, and under the divisions, you get ranges. So, as
Okay.
inspector, we are usually posted in the ranges. Okay, and I'm
Mhm.
currently in West Commissionerate.
Okay.
And as far as pros and cons are concerned, so far I've only seen the pros. First is
Hmm.
that your staff is very, very supportive, so it's easy for you to learn the work very easily. Unless you've got supportive staff, obviously you won't be able to learn anything. Second thing
Hmm.
is that trainings that are scheduled for all the fresh joinees, they're very, good in terms of the fact that you'll get to learn the theory very easily. Otherwise, you'll just be a drop in the ocean, not knowing anything if you don't get trained properly. So the training
Hmm.
mechanism here is very good. You've got then again the work culture is also very nice. Everybody is very keen on teaching you everything. Initially, it becomes a little hectic when you try to learn all the laws and sections and all that. It's very complicated in the beginning, but over the time you get used to it and you start learning how to work very easily. So the work life is not very much difficult. You've got great personal life as well as work life balance. The working hours are also not very particular. Like you have to come be there at 10 and leave at 5 only. That's not the case. Yeah, the working hours are flexible. Then again, the workload depends upon your posting, where you're posted. There are some areas where the workload is more. There are some areas where the workload is less. Then as far as the kind of work that we do that is concerned, it's not very nothing very much complicated. If you learn, if you go there with the spirit of learning, that yes, you want to learn something, you'll learn it easily and you'll be a very good officer. So all the pros are there so far.
Okay. So, and how long is the training? Training.
uh, Basically, there are two types of training. First is the
Hmm.
orientation, and second is the induction. So,
Hmm.
orientation gives you a brief overview of what the department is, how it works, and what are the kind of jobs that you'll be doing. Induction training is a deeper kind of training where they will teach you the details of the things. They teach you about customs. They teach you about GST. Initially, they were excise and sales tax, those and service tax. They were in play. They teach you about those as well. So, in some formations, there is a case that induction and orientation are happening together. In our case, in orientation took place earlier. It took place in April for 2 weeks, and now our 3 week induction training is going on.
Okay. So actually, we study quant, reasoning, English, and GA in our preparation phase. But you have to do finance. You have to do finance type of task, and you have to learn this type of things. So, it is it difficult to learn those things while you are trained?
Like I said already, it's all about your spirit. If you go there with the spirit of learning, you learn it
Mhm.
easily. However, if
Mhm.
you're from commerce background, it does become a little bit easy. But it's not like it's something rocket science about exercise that you won't be able to understand anything at all. It's pretty easy as far as it is concerned. The
Okay.
learning portion, it's not very difficult for people who are coming from science or arts background. That's not the case. It's not very difficult.
Okay. So is this job is dynamic in nature or you have to do same task every day?
It depends upon the postings. Again, how frequently you're getting posted to different directorates or commissionerates or different formations. There are some formations whose work is solely directed towards all the intelligence and preventive and all that. So that is very happening, obviously. Then there are ranges where the work sometimes it gets monotonous, sometimes it's very fun. Like if you're learning new thing, it becomes fun. But if you're sending the same, obviously reporting is very boring. So only the report section is boring. Otherwise, it's very fun.
It's very funny. Okay, so let's come to your preparation phase. So what was your preparation strategy when you
Hmm.
were working when you were preparing for SSC CGL? What was your preparation strategy?
So I started off preparing for CGL 2017 actually. I was
Okay.
preparing for bank as well as CGL 2017, then defense exams as well. So I was, everywhere. I had joined Canara Bank in 2018, and since that time, I've been preparing for CGL alongside my job. So for 17 and 18, I used the same strategy. I used to go to office, come back at 6. From 6 to 11:30, I used to study. My main focus was on maths because English, I knew I was very good at English. So I was easily able to score very well in English. But maths is something that needs practice. No matter how good you are at it, you have to practice simply because you need to gain that speed in calculations. And it's all about speed in the calculations. The trend, the number of mock tests that I gave, the number of, sample tests that I took, in every case, the only thing that I noticed was the questions were not very complicated. They were just, the calculation part was long. So the calculations have to be on your tips. So that's why I used to focus more on maths. As far as this tier 1 GK is concerned, the trend that I saw was that mostly static GA used to come earlier. Now, I don't know the trend post 2019 and for the CGL exams, but earlier static GK used to come. So I used to refer these static ones. Like there is this, I can't recall the name, but it's available on the websites as well. Little bit of current affairs used to come, not too much, but I used to brush all the current affairs as well. And as far as the reasoning section is concerned, since I was already working in banks, so I had prepared the reasoning on banking level. The reason behind it was that the banking level reasoning is very high as compared to the one that you used to say in CGL exams.
Okay.
So
Yes.
at this level, clearing this level becomes very easy. So for reasoning, banking reasoning was my cue, and maths again, practice.
Okay. So you have to do a lot of practice to crack SSC CGL, right? To crack any exam, I think.
Yes, to crack.
Okay. You have also worked in Canara Bank. So, which job do you like the most? Actually, right now you are working in CXC Sector Excise Inspector. So I think this is the your dream job. I think this was your dream job. But why did you left Canara Bank?
Well, I joined Canara Bank simply because, what you say, a bird in hand is better than two in bush. You've heard of. So it
Yes.
was like my hand. I was actually preparing for defense exams, CDS and
Okay.
AFCAT preparing for. And banking was just a backup for me. Like if I don't get anywhere, at least I'll have this job. That is why I appeared for banking sector, so that I could freely try on my own, like whatever job I wanted to try for. So banking was just a backup for me. Like, I'll have a source of income and I'll have some independence of my own. That is the only reason that I chose banking sector. And the CGL per se was not my first preference ever
Okay.
in my,
Okay.
yes. So yes, but it does feel good. The kind of powers that you get in Central Excise, the kind of respect that you get in Central Excise, it's very, very good, I can say. And if you're outside the department, it looks like, okay, Excise, that's okay, just like every other CGL job. But no, it's not like every other CGL job. Central Excise has its own work environment, has its own perks. You know, the possibilities that you have to excel in your career, they're enormous. Okay, I don't know about any other like income tax also. We were studying this only today in our classes, that even if you join any other department, the opportunities that are there with you, they're not as many as they are in Central Excise, because you get posted in customs, there are preventives, and every sort of profiling is done. Then deputations also are there to different directories that are really nice to work with. Intelligence services, you get to understand the entire taxation system of the country in a very deep manner. So in itself, it's a very big thing to learn. So obviously, being a Central Excise officer feels better as compared to
Yeah.
bank, plus very less number of taxpayers that you with.
Yes. So actually, how much time one have to devote for preparation of SSC CGL?
You see, there is no particular time limit that minimum this many hours you should put in the preparation. It depends upon person to person. If somebody has got good catching power, they can learn better in a short span of time as compared to somebody who needs longer time to process things. Again, it depends upon retention as well. There are some people who are able to, keep the things in their mind for a longer period of time, so they don't need to revise again and again. Then there are people have to revise the previous day things before starting off on the next day. So it depends upon person to person. If you are studying for an average of 4 to 5 hours a day, that is enough if you've got good retention and good catching power. But if you feel like your catching power is not good enough, or you do not have very good hold on the subjects, I believe we should give a longer duration of time.
Okay. So if someone is starting from scratch, then what advice do you want to give him or her?
Okay, so it's something that I'm going to quote what my father used to say, that they will, for every job there are going to be thousands and even lakhs of applicants. You know how
Yes, yes,
competition
yes,
is.
yes.
But the thing is, only 5% of them are serious about it. Rest 95% is the kind of people who are just giving the exam for the sake of it. They are not very much serious the job. So you have to compete with only the 5%. Okay, and out of those 5%, you just have to reserve one seat for yourself. And every hour that you're wasting doing anything else, anything other than studying, somebody is taking away your seat. So my simple advice that if you're preparing sincerely, you're going to crack it. It's nothing like the people who clear CGL are a different breed or anything like that. We are all simple people from, middle class or lower middle class backgrounds. We just have studied. That's all. Study and study and study and study sincerely. It's not like I've seen kinds of people who will be like, okay, 151 is the cutoff. We'll attempt the questions that will score us 160 and that will be enough. That is not going to be enough. Hard truth is that you have to target for 190 plus. Then only you'll be able to clear the cutoff and, become good enough to get into the merit list. So it's just that study sincerely and believe in yourself. It's just studies. That's all.
Okay.
Studying will make.
One part is very important for preparation is mock. I think mock is so what should be the mock strategy for this parent? Actually, I think you have also did mock for your preparation. So what should be the strategy?
The strategy for mocks is that I believe in the very beginning one should take up a mock test. Okay, like if you're starting to the preparation, you should start with the mock test only. The reason is that you'll get to know what are the sectors where you are strong enough, what are the subjects where you're not strong enough. Okay, so if you have a fair idea of what is your strength and what is your weakness, you'll be able to practice better. You'll be able to give time to those subjects better. The subjects where you're good at, invest decent amount of time in them, but the subjects where you're not good at, you have to invest a longer period of time. It might happen that if you don't take a mock test in the very beginning, you'll end up spending, for example, you'll spend 3 days on profit and loss chapter, then in the end there'll be one question on profit and loss. That's not going to be worth it. Otherwise, if you spend, like, let's say on the triangles chapter, you spend only 1 day, but the questions on triangles come out of 6 marks, so it's going to be problematic. So start with a mock test, figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, focus on more on your weaknesses, and then about every second week you keep giving mock tests. You keep checking what is your progress, whether you're actually working on improving or not. So that is my strategy for mock tests.
So basically it will help you to analyze yourself, right?
Yes, and
So
analysis is better so that you are sure that you're going in the right direction. If you don't analyze, you won't be able to understand where you're going. And if you directly appear for the exam, you'll be all confused, like, what am I doing? How am I not able to solve this very easy question? It happens very often with people.
actually, right now the pattern of SSC CGL Tier 2 has been changed. So actually now they added reasoning and GA also.
Yeah.
So what will you advise for reasoning and GA? Because now it is a important part of SSC CGL, because before they reasoning and GA were only in pre-exam, right? Now reasoning and GA are in mains exam also. So what will you advise for GK, especially for GK?
So their GK is always divided into 2 parts: static and non-static. Okay. For static, what you can do is, see, anybody who's appearing for a CGL exam is not going to appear only for CGL exam. There are many things that he'll be appearing for. UPSC also, he'll be, some of the exams of UPSC, he or she will also be appearing for, probably banking also. There's so many different kinds of exam. So for GK, one formula that works with every single exam is that study all the history, geography, and polity from 6th to 12th, the NCRTs. They're very simple, very easy, and all the basic cover all the basics of the GK portion. All the questions that come in GK are from those only. As far as the non-static portion is concerned, there is a thing that I had noticed during my preparation period. The questions that are there in the exams for GK portion, they are not random questions. Like one time what I noticed was there was a question on turtles, a particular breed of turtles, about where they were found, what was their greatest specification. And I thought, what kind of random question they're asking? Who would know about the turtles? So the reason was that Olympics were going to held during that period when our exam was going on, and the turtles were mascot of those Olympic games.
Okay, yes.
So the non-static GK is usually connected with the current affairs.
Okay.
When you study current affairs, it's not just, okay, so and so are the points of current affairs, you read them, apne ratta mariya, that is not going to work. If you're studying about any current affairs, you have to read about the surrounding things as well, like what led to that situation, what are the other factors that are in play about that situation. If you start reading current affairs like that, your GK will be much stronger. And if you combine that static portion with the non-static portion, you'll be able to understand things better, and you'll be able to appear for larger number of questions. So that is my strategy for GK. For reasoning, I always used to go for banking level reasoning. It's very high level reasoning, and it is very good. Once you learn how to solve those questions, it becomes very easy for you to clear the reasoning. There are books by Arihan that are very nice when it comes to reasoning. So go for those books. And for static, go for news. Live news, not the websites that give you a crux of the entire month's current affairs. That's not going to help. That is not the right strategy, according to me, to prepare for current affairs. Go for channels like Lok Sabha TV or Rajya Sabha TV. I believe Rajya Sabha TV's name has been changed right now. But go for these government channels that provide you with authentic information, not like NDTV. People are that is not the way to go for current affairs. And if you think that you'll download the crux of 1 month's current affairs and you'll be able to go ahead with it, that's not going to happen. Be updated with the current affairs on a daily basis. The reason that newspapers are also often very often suggested, it's because they do not only cover the current portion but the surrounding area as well. So go for newspapers, go for government news channels like Rajya Sabha TV and Lok Sabha TV. Go for these sources. These are the way that you can conquer the GK portion. And it holds true not only for CGL exams, but for every other government exam that you are preparing for.
Okay. So there's a term called exam fever, right? So
Yeah.
how will someone tackle this exam fever?
See, exam fever again depends upon person to person. It depends upon one's personality. There are some people who keep on studying till the very last moment of the exam. There are some people who give up on reading just 1 day before the exam. Like people like me, I used to give up 1 day before the exam. Like whatever I have prepared, I have prepared. Whatever I'm not prepared is not prepared. And every time I used to appear for an exam at the exam center, there'll be people holding on heavy books and all that, and reading and roughing through those pages. At times I've seen those, I used to look at those books like, what are they reading? And I'll say things like, damn, I've not read this thing. What is this thing? What if question comes into the exam? And those questions never appeared on those exams. So the simple funda for exam fever is that believe in yourself. If you're studying, you'll clear it. That's the bottom line. Nothing beyond it. Doesn't matter how many people are studying till the last moment. It's because they're not competent enough. Simply think about that. And whatever you studied till the day before exam, that is going to be enough. Just believe in yourself.
So you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be confident.
Yes.
And you can do it and be motivated, right? So
yes.
Yes. So anything do you want to tell? Do you want to advise the aspirants who are going to appear in a coming examination?
Just one thing. If you think that life will be good, even if you don't get a job, try getting a job. It's fun. It's liberating. Very much good boost up for your self-confidence, especially for girls. I might be a little gender specific over here, but for girls I would like to say that stand up for yourselves, and be independent. That's the bottom line. It feels very liberating to be completely dependent upon yourself, to help your family in the finances, to help your younger siblings in buying whatever they want, to have a dream life of yours. My life has simply changed from this to this after I got a job. Like, my family's background has changed. I've got a younger brother. He's also in the armed forces. So it's great to have a job. It's very, very nice feeling when your parents, you see your parents face beaming with pride. There are going to be times when you will feel like giving up. Just don't give up. Just hang in there. It's the road beyond that phase is very nice, and it's going to be the most, you will think that this is the most difficult phase of your life. Like, everything is crashing down, you're not getting a job, your family is pressuring for like marriage or anything like that. Just don't give up on yourself. Just keep studying, study sincerely. You'll get a job when the life is good. Be, create a better life for yourself. That's all.
So one thing I want to ask, basically the questions from the many aspirants, that what is the salary do you get, initial salary do you get when
Hmm.
you join the excise as an excise inspector?
So the salary of an excise inspector varies from the place of posting.
Mhm.
It depends on your X, Y, and Z category of cities. Since Bangalore is a metro city, so the salary that we get in hand is 72,000. The
Okay.
revisions are pretty frequent. So every 3 months, your DA gets revised, and accordingly your salary gets revised. That's
Mhm.
one thing. Second thing is that soon enough your income tax start getting deducted. So it's an average deduction of 5 to 6,000. So be ready about that. So the salary is good enough. Salary is good
And
enough.
what are the other perks uh, uh, excluding salary?
This is one flaw. Actually, the only perks that you get are, first is the uniform allowance. Every year you will
Mm.
get a uniform allowance. You'll
Mm.
get your uniform stitched every year. So 10,000 is the uniform allowance. There's a
Mm.
baggage allowance, and apart from that, what every government provides you with LTC, HTC, those facilities are there. Apart from that, there are no perks. If you think
I
that
think
you'll
this
uh,
is the cons of see a central excise inspector post. I think this is the cons. I can say.
on, but if you manage your finances, it's
Yes.
not.
Okay. So thank you so much, Pooja, for joining us and for helping those aspirants who are preparing for upcoming exams, and wish you all the best for your future. And
Thank
thank you so much. Okay.
you.